So it looks like there's some beef going down on Twitter between some former Miami Hurricanes players. And we don't typically talk drama on this channel. I don't like to stir the pot, but let's just be honest and keep it real. The entire offseason is primarily going to be drama. There's going to be transfer portal stuff happening. There's potentially going to be some coaching changes. There is going to be a ton of drama during the offseason. And right now, some things are coming out, things are being said, and we're just going to jump over and take a look at it. So this whole thing started when Jarren Williams tweeted something out about the offensive line at Miami. I'm going to take you over to Twitter so we can take a look at this. And you guys remember Jarren Williams, former quarterback for the Miami Hurricanes, and he tweeted this out on November 9th. I had shoulder injuries the whole season I played at UM. Playing behind a bad O-line can break a young QB. UM need to do something about the O-line. Stop bringing in 6'2" offensive linemen. Go to Wisconsin and get some big boys or something. Way too soft up front. Now, here's the thing. In a way, Jarren Williams is not wrong with this statement, right? Like, it rubs some fans the wrong way because we all know that Jarren Williams, there was some controversy there with him, especially with the FIU game, right? There were talks about him potentially partying, maybe being high or drunk even during that game, and I don't really know if there's any truth to that, but a lot of people have come forward and said there is definitely some truth to that. So it made a lot of Miami fans upset whenever it seemed like he was firing shots at, Miami coaching staff and players and whatnot. Because here's the deal. Today, November 10th, Scott Patchin had something to say about Jarren Williams' tweet. And just to be honest, this is kind of why Twitter is a love-hate thing for me, guys. Because, people tend to air their dirty laundry on Twitter. And sometimes it gets a little heated. But at the same time, Twitter can be great because you get to see these conversations and have these conversations with guys. So Scott Patchin comes forward. He sees this and, bro, it must have lit a fire under him. Something just hit a nerve whenever Jarren tweeted that tweet. And Scott said, "We were all banged up. Since you want to blame others, the FIU loss was on you." Now, if we remember going back to that FIU game, just in case you forgot, you probably tried to remove it from your memory just like I did. Back in 2019, the FIU game, 30-24, Canes take the L. We decide to play Jarren Williams. He goes 19 of 36, 249 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. So here's what's funny, man. Both of these guys make some points. Scott Patchin says, "Yo, we were banged up. We were dealing with injuries. What are you talking about? That FIU loss was on you, Jarren." And let me tell you, fans, look at this, man. Scott, can you tell exactly what happened the night before? People were whipping out their lawn chairs. I know some of you guys. Smoke, I know you, bro. Dirty South TV, what's good? Man, everybody's getting out their popcorn, toast. Man, and it was the same on Jarren's tweet. People were saying, "Bye. You quit on the team. You left. What are you talking about? You partied the night before the FIU game." Some people said, "Hey, it sucks, but you're right." Here's the deal. The way I see this is both of these guys made some solid points. And the reason why I want to discuss this is because you got two former Miami Hurricanes players pointing the finger at each other. Guys are arguing. And I want to talk about it because sometimes as fans, we forget that these guys are human. And we also are not always in the locker room. So what happens is we just assume that all of these guys are friends, that all of these guys get along. They play on the same team, right? So they must be. That's not always the case. Sometimes these guys butt heads. Sometimes they clash. Some of these guys don't even talk off the field. And I feel like this also shows that we have much deeper issues than we really realized. Of course, we all know that we've had a culture issue for a very long time. And some of these guys, when you're seeing these talks like this, shows the cancer that was on the team, right? The toxicity, the negativity. And it's just wild and crazy because, I feel like that brotherhood, right? It really has been missing within this team for a long time. You see a lot of these guys, they try to do bonding exercises where they go to the pool and hang out and yada yada, but everybody kind of has their little individual cliques, or maybe guys hang out in their own respective position group. And it really does hurt the team in the long run, because when you feel like that guy beside you is your friend, your guy, your buddy, your brother, you're going to fight harder. You're going to play harder for that dude. If you're best buds with the quarterback and you're an offensive lineman, you are going to do everything within your power to protect that guy. But it really just goes to show, man, how deep our issues really are and how long this has been going on, because we're seeing a lot more of these comments come forward. I was actually in a Twitter space the other night where Malik Rozier and Brevin Jordan were talking about the fact that, they really didn't even get served very many meals. Brevin Jordan made it known that half the time he was eating ramen noodles, bro. Literally eating ramen noodles while playing for the University of Miami. And he was also talking about, he was blunt and honest. I don't care to put it out there because he put it out there on the Twitter space. He talked about the fact that half the time, a lot of guys on the team were partying in Miami until 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. The priorities, man. And the thing is, a lot of these guys come down to Miami and there's a lot of temptation. It's a whole different world, and, it's tough for those guys. And he was also talking about the fact that, we're getting back to the food thing here, that some of the nutrition people were literally working out of the closet of the weight room. Like, they didn't even get their own respective little office or area there. And I'm sure they spruced it up, right? Maybe they let them hang some pictures on the wall and decorate it however they wanted to. But they didn't even have their own dedicated area. So how can you expect these guys to be able to take care of their bodies when we can't even feed them? And it really, again, just shows that there were culture issues. There were issues with them not prioritizing the football program, not pumping enough money into it. It wasn't taken seriously enough. And it really just kind of opened my eyes and, helped me understand that it was probably very tough for Manny Diaz. It was probably super difficult for Mark Richt. I can't even begin to fathom the issues that Al Golden dealt with, because it's been too long since we have taken football seriously at the University of Miami. And it trickles all the way down, from all the way at the very top, even down to the players. There's a ton of disconnect, no chemistry. I mean, how can you expect us to compete with teams like Alabama, Ohio State, Clemson, some of these great teams that, like I said, they have that camaraderie. They have, these guys that feel like everyone is family. They do all these exercises. They take care of their players when it comes to their diets. And there are just so many things that we have neglected here at the University of Miami, and it shows. And again, they really brought up some facts. And man, I had that dinner that I keep telling you guys about, or that lunch rather, the invite-only lunch. Brett Romberg, Beeson, Amon Richards, and big-time donors and stuff at the University of Miami. And some of the stories they told me just blew my mind. We have fallen so far, and I just truly cannot believe some of the things that we were not doing. Like, how did I ever expect us to win and compete? It's literally impossible. The odds were against us. We were our own worst enemy. We weren't doing ourselves any favors. So, I really don't even know where I'm going with this, other than just kind of wanting to show that, there are a lot of things coming forward now that we're seeing now that guys are, away from the program. They have been for several years now, and now they're kind of speaking up on some things. And they're saying, we weren't treated right when it comes to this. And, we had these issues and all these various different things going on that the fans didn't see. And it's interesting because Brevin said, some of the people that gave him the hardest time, Malik Rozier said the same thing. He said, was the Miami fans. He said, I could handle everything else, but the Miami fans were the ones that were always in my ear telling me that I suck, that I'm trash, that I should leave the program, that they hate me. And he was playing for our team. And that's got to be tough, man. Malik Rozier said he had to delete everything off of his phone, all social media. He couldn't even look at it. And, we do have to hold these guys accountable. We want them to do better, but we need to be better about how we approach it. And I try to provide constructive criticism. I try to do it out of love. I might call the entire program trash, but I try to not call out one specific player and say, you suck, you're trash, you should leave the team. And it's okay if that is your approach. Like I said, we all kind of approach this thing differently. But it just really kind of opened my eyes to really just how truly far we had fallen. And, a lot of people even ask, Brevin and some of these other guys, like, why did you choose Miami then? You visited the school, right? So you saw that we didn't have the best of the best when it came to facilities and when it came to nutrition people and all these various different things. So why did you still come try to make the crib great? Why? You know what they said? They knew they would get to play. And that's another thing that it really was kind of, whoa. I've always said that I don't like that recruiting pitch of come make the difference. You come be that guy. But if it means immediate play time, it's very important to these guys. As a freshman, we always see a lot of these big time schools where you ride the bench until, your sophomore, maybe even junior year at times. A lot of these guys, when you come to Miami, we've had such a big issue that you might get snaps as a freshman. You're definitely probably playing as a sophomore because we need them. We need these big time playmakers. And we rotate, there's a lot of turnover. We rotate a lot of guys, right? A lot of guys leaving in and out, both with players and coaching staff. So it is important to these guys to get immediate playing time. It does matter. But that's really all I wanted to talk about, man. It's just there's going to be so much stuff coming out about what we've done and not done. And it is just refreshing to see that we are taking the football program a little more serious. It sucks right now. Trust me, I understand. I'm venting about it, all these issues and the losses. But we are, I think, finally taking it a little more serious. But it won't happen overnight. We're in the process of working on building a new facility. It's going to be 6 stories. I think they're pumping hundreds of millions of dollars into this thing. It's going to be state of the art. But we're so far behind other programs that we're not just going to instantly catch up because we build this 6-story facility. It's not going to be an overnight thing because we bring in all these extra nutrition people that kind of help these guys with their diet and help get their bodies right. It is going to take time because these other big time programs, these big schools, have been doing this for the past 10, 15, 20 years. And since we've neglected it, it's going to take a little while, even after we make these changes, to actually see some return from that, to see it make a difference. Man, I expect Twitter and all these social media platforms to continue to heat up. These guys are going to keep jawing it up. They're going to go at it, and let's see. Let's see what they bring forward and what they have to say about what we've done wrong in the past. So hopefully we can correct these issues and not repeat them. History tends to repeat itself, right? Let's go through, address these things, and make the right changes and take football seriously. Please. Let me know your thoughts on this below. Man, like I said, Jaron honestly made some points. Patchen made some points. We're going to see some more guys make some points too. It is what it is. Everybody's pointing the finger at somebody, man, and we all got to look in the mirror too, right? Remember though, guys, we're all one big happy college football family, but at the end of the day, I got to say, it's always better when you get to rep the U. Coach Coop, peace out.